Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. Now in its 11th season, this inspiring show brings together powerful voices and conversations designed to help you lead with purpose and live with intention. Rebecca is the CEO of RHG Media Productions, founder of Your Purpose-Driven Practice, and international best-selling author, co-host of the Women Rising TV show series, and a media personality who has been featured on ABC, NBC, Fox, Huffington Post, and Thrive Global. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Excited to be connecting in with you. And July is a great time for us to look at where are we with our goals that we had at the beginning of the year? How are we stepping forward in powerful ways? Are we shrinking back, or are we leaning in to really bring forward and share the amazing gift of who we are? This is a great check-in because guess what? We have the whole second half of the year that we can utilize to step forward in those areas that matter most to us. So today, as our amazing guest shares, I know you're going to be inspired by who she is, how she's showing up in the world, that you will gain some great tips, perspectives, and ideas to help you continue that momentum, to keep bringing forward, keep showing up and sharing the amazing gift of who you are. Through the summer and throughout the year, we get to keep choosing how we show up, who we are, how we're being, and are we continuing to bring more of who we are to the world. We are so needed. So as we come together this morning, I invite you to take a breath, breathe in through the nose, all the way to your toes, even wiggle them. I sometimes in the summer picture wiggling them in the sand. There's a little resistance that feels good. So I can wiggle them more, bringing more air and oxygen in. As I breathe out like through a straw. So there's a pushing out. And that's releasing what no longer serves, creating room and space for more. And while you're breathing and becoming focused and centered and intentional about being present, I encourage you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Put both hands on your heart. And just notice how that feels. Closing your eyes, pausing, breathing, connecting. And then notice that beat of your heart. And then there's a little pause in between each beat. And in that pause, what do you feel coming forward? What are you being reminded of? What is it that you need to support, encourage, and empower you today? What is it you need? Beautiful. Let's take that information in. Take another beautiful deep breath. And as you breathe out, open up your eyes. Become fully present. Beautiful. I even wiggle my shoulders to make sure I'm back in my body, fully present here with all of you. And I'd love for you to take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. And as you're doing that, I encourage you to see, are you open to that? Because we have choice. So, what you need and are willing to receive. And just see if that shifts things a little bit. I know sometimes it does for me. Beautiful. And with that, I'm going to open up the floor and bring our amazing guest on. And Elaine, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen.
Thank you so much for asking. This is what came to mind in the pause of my heartbeat. Love is not just a feeling we carry quietly in our hearts. It is a living force meant to be shown, shared, and set into motion.
I'm writing that down. Beautiful. I can feel the power and energy in that. It's a living, interactive force.
Yes.
That we can share and put into motion. Just beautiful. I love it. Listeners, how about you? When you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen, what did you feel or notice or a message bubbled up? I know for myself, I just felt kind of a stillness, a pause. I find sometimes my days are so full of things I can feel pinged here and there and there, here and there and over here. And I just felt an opportunity to just be, receive, and connect, and trust that all of those things will fall into place as they need to, or fall away if they don't need to be in place. So it just felt really good to stop and connect in. And I hope, listeners, you have found it helpful as you take a moment to just pause, be, and listen. We are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do so, I want to encourage you to stay present, really stay in this heart space and continue to receive what's coming forth. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or would like to connect with Rebecca or today's guest, we'd love to hear from you. You can email Rebecca at Rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You can also find free resources, empowering articles, and inspiration through Continue the Momentum and RHG Magazine, created to help you keep moving forward in your purpose. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to just pause and breathe and be. And I hope that you had beautiful messages come forward in that stillness. I'm excited to more formally introduce our amazing guest. I know you're going to love her. She's been a frequent flyer, so to speak, on our show. So for those of you who know her, I know you're leaning in and we're welcoming Elaine back. And for those of you who are just meeting her, I'm excited to share a little bit about her. So Elaine is a #1 international bestselling author. She's a co-host of the Women Rising San Francisco TV show series. She's a speaker who believes in love in action. And you even heard a little bit of that in her heart message. And she was named Woman of the Year and Top Entrepreneur of the Year for co-founding Mainstream Electric Heating and Cooling, a plumbing company. And this was in 2000. And the company was named in the Inc. 5000 list over 2 times. So it looks like 3 times it was listed there, which is a huge accomplishment. And she is a passionate advocate for women entrepreneurs and leaders. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and passionate Elaine Damschen to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me again, Rebecca.
You're very, very welcome. Welcome back. And you have even more things going on since the last time we had you on the show. I love that. Every time we talk, there's more. It's beautiful. So I wanted to start with why. Why is this advocation for women entrepreneurs and leaders and all the work that you do, why is that so important to you?
That's a great question. Empowering women and other leaders, I have found so much fulfillment in life in saying yes to opportunities that present themselves. And I've also learned that the more scared and fearful I am of the opportunity, and I move through that fear anyways, that the rewards are equal to that fear, if that makes sense.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious as you share that. So some things popped into my mind as you shared that. So I love that as you decide to move through, that the rewards on the other side equal that fear and more, like so worth taking the step forward. Do you find you are less fearful over time, or you continue to be fearful but know you can navigate through more? I'm just curious how that works for you.
Great clarification. I'm going to share an example.
Sure.
I just launched a new swimwear line. So I've come from a male-dominated industry into one of the most, in my opinion, vulnerable industries of swimwear and putting myself out there in swimsuits. I have found a lot of anxiety and fear in doing it. So I still do feel the fear. I have become better and built the muscle to move forward anyway.
Wonderful. I love that. And so as you launched this swimwear, you modeled it. So it wasn't someone outside of you modeling it, but you chose to lean in and model. And I just love for you to share what that was like.
So my daughter on the website is the model, and I'm also putting myself out on social media. What has happened in that experience is I put on this Italian fabric through another swimwear vendor, and I have felt more beautiful and connected to my own true essence, was able to quiet my inner critic and I'm putting myself out there with my own line because my hope is to help quiet other women's critics of themselves and their bodies.
Mm.
The if I just lose 5 more pounds, then I will ... or in 15 pounds I'll do it. I want to encourage women to do it anyway, where they're at.
I love that. And to embrace it and
Yeah.
feel good.
Yep.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I love how you are walking the talk in such a real way for all of us to see and to model and have a real connection with. I think that's really powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So thank you for going down that path with me and sharing. I truly appreciate it because I think we all have these things that call us forward that someday we want to do or we want to bring forward, or if I do this or after I achieve this or lose that weight or whatever it is, the thing that once that's done, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
And I love how you're like, no, we're doing it now, not waiting, not sitting back. Any advice or you'd give to help women be ready, not wait?
I understand that we all are part of the human condition. And what I mean by that is we have a nervous system that wants to keep us safe. It is designed to protect us from, let's say, the prehistoric saber-toothed tiger. And our nervous system wants us to be safe. And the advice would be, can you override your own human nature button and step forward anyways and do what your soul and your heart and what the universe and God is asking you to do?
I'm sitting with that, and I love this recognition of our bodies are kind of wired to do this, but there's no saber-toothed tiger. and helping us remember that can, I think, sometimes calm that so we can step forward or take baby steps. Do you have a particular practice? I know for myself, I kind of take a breath, and I love yellow notepads, the legal ones with the lines. So sometimes I'll draw a line down the center, and because I like lists as well. So on the left, I might put what I'm afraid of, like what all that stuff is. And then on the right, why this is important to me, why I want to do it. And I find the right side ends up being a lot longer and stronger frequently than the left side once I get it out of me. And I'm not just letting the emotions kind of override. I don't know what you find for yourself.
A couple of things. One, I have learned that mouth breathing, so this is around breathing. So when I mouth breathe, I'm only taking in half the air, and we all have the fight or flight response. So fear is wanting to flee. It's that flight response. Mouth breathing and the nervous system not getting the oxygen, that in itself creates the flight. And so when I'm in fear, like even the few days leading up to my swimwear launch party, I would wake up at 3 a.m. and recognize that I'd been mouth breathing through the night, and that I'd circle back to nose breathing and the deep breaths like you were doing at the beginning of the show, and doing box breathing. And once my body and my nervous system can feel safe again, my mantra is I'm safe. I'm going to be okay. Showing up to a launch party is not going to kill me. It's not a saber-toothed tiger. So it's a lot of self-talk and reminders that I am safe.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that. And to even recognize at night while we're asleep how our body can shift like that. And we can kind of bring it back to center is powerful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Something else that you have recently brought forward is your book, Made in Vietnam, and it became a #1 international bestseller in multiple categories and countries, very well received. It's your memoir. And I'm curious why you felt led, like what was, because it's a huge undertaking to bring a book forward in such a way, and then to do so sharing your story in a vulnerable, real way, which is a theme we're hearing today with you. But what prompted you to do that? How did you know it's time? I'm ready to do this, or I'm called to do this. It's important.
Yes, a life. What was the life whisper?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a couple of stages before the book came to fruition. First of all, I was 36 years old when I went back to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, with my Vietnamese mother and my American father, who met during the Vietnam War. And we found ourselves outside of a hotel there, and they shared that I was conceived there. And it completely blew my mind that I didn't know their love story. And then I learned, by the grace of God, my mother was about 7 months pregnant when she was legally allowed out of war-torn Vietnam into the United States of America so I could be born as a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, that reality shift for me, I had decided on the spot that I feel like my birth in America was a miracle and a dream come true for my parents and me, and that I wanted my life to be an expression of gratitude for being an American citizen and to carry on my parents' legacy. So that's the first part. Fast forward, my mom passed away in 2023, and I knew that I wanted to carry forward that gratitude for the sacrifices my parents made. And I used the pain from my mom's passing to propel me forward to write the book. So two different whispers. One was a whisper, one was a hurricane.
Yeah. Well, and I love that you were able to use those emotions in such a constructive, powerful way. And how did you, because it can be quite daunting to think, I'm going to write a book and a memoir. How did you start? How did you take it from these whispers and, yes, I want to do this, to reality?
Well, I had decided, to be honest, actually, I thought I would have someone ghostwrite it. I didn't imagine that I personally would be capable of writing a book. So I reached out to about 20 people who I thought might have a connection to someone who was a ghostwriter. And one person came forward and introduced me to Bridget Cook Birch out of Utah. And after she heard my story, she said, honey, I'm not going to write your story. You are. So that was step one. Step two is I know I need to build in accountability for myself. So I actually hired Bridget, and the process was I wrote 2 chapters one week, and then the following week she read the next 2 chapters. And instead of like doing all the editing and corrections for me, she taught me how to write by inserting questions like, what do you mean by this? Is this story really relevant to your story? You need to go deeper here. And over the course of 18 months, she taught me how to become an effective memoir writer.
So powerful. And I love that you know yourself, that, I need that accountability, and what amazing support to teach you how to do that.
Yes.
And how to bring it forward. And your book is so powerful and captivating. You start reading it and you can't put it down. You just keep going, and it really touches it touched my heart, it touched my spirit, my emotions, and there are parts that just stick with me in a really great way. So I just want to congratulate you on creating such a powerful memoir and also celebrate it becoming a #1 international best-selling book that's been received just around the world. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very, very welcome. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to think about some of this amazing wisdom and insight that Elaine is sharing with us about saying yes, moving forward, being aware of how our body is reacting and choosing to still find a way to move forward, to bring forward those things that call to you, not the someday, maybe I'll do that, but bringing it into reality. And do we build in accountability and support, shifting to that? How do I do this? What's going to be supportive of me to bring it forward? Because you don't have to do it on your own. That's a myth. So we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or would like to connect with Rebecca or today's guest, we'd love to hear from you. You can email Rebecca at Rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You can also find free resources, empowering articles, and inspiration through Continue the Momentum and RHG Magazine, created to help you keep moving forward in your purpose. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and had an opportunity to really reflect on some of what Elaine has shared. And a tip I can give you is, as things touch your heart or spirit, write them down. That way you don't have to worry about remembering or figuring out. You can just stay present and make note of those things so that you're, one, writing it down. It connects your heart and your body and your hand, like all together. It starts to bring it into reality. And then you have it there to refer to throughout our time together and beyond. So that's just a tip that I give you today. And Elaine, I wanted to start with you're retaring, which is an interesting place for us to start. So you retired, quote unquote,
Yep.
at 53. So you retired from your original career in the electrical and plumbing space. Mm-hmm. And now you're shifting into a writer that we were talking about just recently. I also know you have a children's book collection coming out. You just launched the swimwear line, and you're a co-host of the Women Rising America, the San Francisco TV show series. So you have all these things that you are leaning into. And I'm just curious, how does that feel? And how do they all tie together?
I laugh because most mornings when I'm meditating or I'm in prayer, I say, universe, I don't know what kind of wild ride you're taking me on. Because my life is so different in only 3 years since I retired. Oh, do you know the first part of my life in my career, I enjoyed it so much. It almost felt like a have-to career, raising children, all the things. And the beautiful blessing and opportunity to retire at such a young age. I get to. And another one of my mantras when I'm breathing is ease and flow, ease and flow. And I used to have the mental belief in my first career, like, I have to get it done. I'm making this happen. It felt very forced, and maybe because I was working from ego versus heart space. So it was an exhausting career, where now in ease and flow, remember at the beginning of the show, you had asked the listeners about how do you receive? I really feel like I'm in a receiving phase of life, like I'm just getting started. While I'm doing many things, it is not exhausting. And I'm not going to say ease does not equal easy, but it's been flowing to me and it doesn't feel like work.
I love that, because you're putting on that entrepreneurial hat again in these different ventures, in a sense, that you're leaning into. And I love that you're able to do it from this place of flow and allowing that it's not have to, it's a get to. Anything you would add to that as you put that entrepreneur hat? I know we talked a little bit about nerves and fears. Anything else you're observing as you step into bringing forward another book collection? I know, working on an Audible, and you have this TV show series that you're part of, and your swimwear. Just anything that you're noticing as you shift into this new way of being in business and in these things that you're bringing forward.
That is a great question. At the beginning of the show, I mentioned we talked about love in action, and that it's a living force that's meant to be shown, shared, and set in motion. This phase of my life, these things I'm doing are continued expressions of my gratitude for not just an immensely blessed life, but to also, they're expressions of gratitude, again, for my opportunity to be an American citizen. And I just want to keep expressing the opportunities that come forth.
I love that. And I feel like so much of what you're bringing forward, as I, from the outside, kind of looking in, I feel like are giving, the children's book collection and the awareness that you're bringing to certain industries and the empowerment in that space. The swimwear really designed to help women feel great as they are, not someday, but really aligned with who they are in their essence now, that they don't have to wait to feel that way. The TV show series is all about authentic voices coming together and supporting women and helping them rise. So I
Yeah.
just see that a very strong, consistent theme in
Yes.
in all that you do.
Oh,
It's beautiful and powerful, and I thank you for the work that you're doing in the world.
yeah. And it feels good. It helps me feel really good and comfortable in my body and beautiful.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so, a question I have, because there are certain things I know that you really stand for, and I hear you say consistently, and you believe. And one of them, we've talked about love a bit, but you also talk about no one is coming to save you. And this is a message when you speak, you bring forward to women a lot. And I'd love for you to expand because at first that can feel like, what do you mean? So I'd love for you to share, what do you mean when you say no one is coming to save you? And how does that actually empower us?
Mm. My life began to shift when I made the decision to take 100% responsibility for myself. And what I mean by that is I can't change anybody, but I can change myself.
Mhm.
I can't change situations, but I can change myself or my perception or my story about life. And using the word um, not you did this to me, you did this, they did this to me. It's if I'm in an unfavorable situation, my question to myself is, how did I contribute to this situation? And if I may, I'd like to just give a little example.
Sure, please.
So I also talk about how life happens for me, not to me. So when I sold my company 3 years ago, and new ownership came in, I truly believed that I would be kept on because of my value and what I brought to the company. And that wasn't the case. And so, in shock, I did exit the company and I allowed the new owners to define, but I allowed it. They didn't do anything to me. I allowed the narrative to bring me down. Now, how did life happen for me? After a couple of years of feeling so bad about the exit and realizing that my identity was so wrapped up in the success of that business, I'd made the decision that I wanted to reconcile with the CEO of the company. And I actually called him. So my example of responsibility is I had the conversation, explained that I needed to have some space to get some clarity about what happened, and that I understood why they couldn't have me there anymore because my staff was loyal to me and my husband, and the new company needed the staff to be loyal to them so they could make the changes they needed to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was 100% responsibility, and life happened for me, not to me. And then I asked myself, Rebecca, what am I supposed to learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, what came to me is if I sold 100% of my business and the owners came in and make changes like they rightfully could have and do, what if I went with a larger publisher? Was it the possibility that they could change my story and I couldn't do anything about it? So I do believe that happened at my former business to help me make the decision that I am going to own 100% of my own copyright of my book, and I chose self-publishing. And to me, that was the big lesson. And that's an example of how life happened for me, not to me, and that I could take 100% responsibility for my perception of exiting mainstream and how I wanted to move forward with my book.
And I can feel a strength and certainty and like a knowing
Mhm.
as you say this, because that could be a very hard, disillusioning experience and painful.
Yes.
And to come through that, take responsibility, and now stand in that in how you look forward. So you're not looking back again with regret or confusion or those kinds of things. You have that clarity and you're able to stand in that and move forward and really see how things are happening for you.
Yeah.
So when you had those conversations and you went through that shift, did you notice anything shifting like deeply and profoundly within yourself and how you view the world?
I guess in writer's terms, I would say that I am the author, editor, and publisher of my own story and my own life,
Mhm.
and that I will move forward in that knowing and that strength, and that
Beautiful.
I contribute 100% to my life. I mean, things happen, and again, I go to how did I contribute to this, and what am I supposed to learn?
Thank you for sharing that. I love that because so often I think we're looking outside of ourselves,
Hmm.
either for permission or for blame.
Yes.
And either of those puts us in a disempowered space.
Yep.
Whereas if we can really choose and know that we're choosing how we're being, who we're becoming, how we're going to navigate regardless of circumstances and others in our life, we still get to make powerful choices of how our steps in that dance, so to speak. Like we get to choose that and own that. And I feel that's a much more empowered space rather than being subject to things outside of us being in control and in
Yes.
charge.
And when I stopped giving my power away,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm feeling my essence and experiencing flow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Now, I'm curious about this Women Rising San Francisco. So, Women Rising America in San Francisco. I'm
Mhm.
honored to be one of the co-authors as well. So, whenever I get to, I'm not co-authors. I'm sorry, co-hosts. I got to use the right terminology. Co-hosts that we're creating together. And I'd love for you to share a little bit of why you said yes to that and what you're hoping it does in the world.
Oh. Taking my deep breath, Rebecca.
Of course, of course.
Oh, do you know in 2026, my word of the year was women, is women,
Mm-hmm.
and to surround myself in women with women because there's such beauty when women show up to support each other and celebrate each other. And I hadn't experienced that a lot. I had just in a few instances, but I'm experiencing in massive ways this year. So that's why I said yes. And gosh, I think, well, one of my stipulations to do it was I didn't want to be hateful and put out, bad juju into the world. And it had to be a beautiful, inspiring um, group of women, which we do have, and to help demonstrate and show other women and women who will be watching that we're all normal women, we're all human beings, able to find our own path to success, whatever that might be, and that we can support each other on that journey.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. I'm excited about the show and more to come, listeners, as we have more to announce. We're in the filming stages right now. But I have really been enjoying the energy and the heartbeat that I feel the women have, the production company has, the directors have. They're all coming together to help us authentically show up as we are and honor that in a way
Yes.
that will serve and connect with viewers. And so it's an exciting experience.
Yes, it is.
Love it. Well, we are ready for our next commercial break. So, listeners, stay tuned and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or would like to connect with Rebecca or today's guest, we'd love to hear from you. You can email Rebecca at rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You can also find free resources, empowering articles, and inspiration through Continue the Momentum and RHG Magazine, created to help you keep moving forward in your purpose. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and an opportunity to capture any notes that you missed. Maybe look back at what was on your heart at the beginning of the show and just kind of see how that's been supported and brought forward through our conversation today. Now, I have a final question for our amazing Elaine that I wanted to ask. As we reflect back on our conversation today, is there a final tip or advice that you want to give women today, particularly those who are feeling this pull, this call? They're meant for more. They have things that they haven't brought forward yet that they are feeling a pull to do. What advice would you give them and share?
That's a great question. What I have found worked for me is to get started, even in the imperfection, and course correct along the way. I have been a perfectionist in the past, and the belief that everything had to be just right before I got started sometimes kept me from ever getting started on some other projects. And now I'm learning I don't have to see the whole staircase, just take that first step and do it anyway, even in fear.
I love that. And I want to underline what you said, course correct along the way. Brilliant. Even the most perfect plan, life doesn't go according to plan typically.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that freedom that we can shift and course correct along the way, and maybe expect that as we're stepping forward. And especially if we're just seeing the next step, we take that, then the next step, let's shift directions a little bit. And it can be I think a more dynamic and enjoyable journey with that, less pressure. I can just shift a little bit if I need to. All good.
Yeah, Definitely.
Beautiful. Well, I've really enjoyed having you on the show today. We got to have a full show of Elaine today, which was wonderful. And I want to let people know the way they can go deeper with you. Those who are wanting to connect more, learn about your book, follow you. What is the best way for people to connect in and go deeper?
Thank you for asking. My book, Made in Vietnam, My Epic American Journey, is available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. My website is Elaine Damschen, ELAINEDAMSCHEN.com. And there is a contact page there. My Instagram handle is essentially Elaine. So it's an underscore and then spell out essentially Elaine.
I love it. It's an elegant name.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. And I know that you have some things coming up as well. I just thought you might want to share a little bit as people are leaning into following you and keeping in touch. What are some things they can be watching for?
Oh, goodness. I mean, for sure, more on Essence Swimwear. There's that. Of course, Women Rising America, San Francisco. I have a children's book called The Happy Home Heroes that's being illustrated and hopefully out by Christmas. And one thing we haven't talked about is I am just onboarding as a story coach with inspired writers. And I'm learning how to coach other people on their writing like it was done for me, because it was such a gift. So I want to give back in that space.
I love it. Congratulations on that. And thank you for sharing. You're just so many things that you are leaning into and bringing forward, and such an amazing impact it's going to have on so many women and so many people's lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to see you and all that you're doing continue to ripple out into the world. It's just beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome. And listeners, I want to thank you too for joining and being part of our conversation today. I hope you have a beautiful page or multiple pages of notes. And what I encourage you to do is take a few moments at the end of the show and remember that the day doesn't get to be in charge. You do. You're in charge. So take a couple minutes for you and really sink into those few things. You can have the whole list, but choose one or two things that you're going to take action on, and be in action today, not tomorrow, not someday, but be in action, even a baby step, shifting forward in those areas that serve you most. And maybe it's making that list. Maybe it's practicing that deeper breathing. Perhaps it's listening to those whispers. So getting still and listening to what's coming forward, and realizing you don't have to have the perfect plan. You just need to be stepping forward, and you can course correct along the way, because you are an amazing gift. There's no one else in the world just like you. And I believe you're here by design and on purpose, and absolutely needed as you are now, not someday, eventually, maybe, but right now. It matters how you share who you are in the world. And the biggest gift you can give is sharing more of who you truly, authentically are. So I encourage you today to take a step to sharing a little bit more of who you are right now, as you are. Be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.